taking a look at Gimkit today. This is a really fun interactive game you can use in your classroom. It's a live learning game, and it says the tagline is the live learning game your students will beg to play. That is probably true. It is a lot of fun. So it is, if you've played Kahoot before, it is similar to Kahoot in some ways. It's a little bit easier to manage in a virtual classroom than Kahoot because in Kahoot they would need to have you share your screen to see the questions, and then they would put in their answers in another tab unless they were using a separate device to enter their answers, but they would still need to view the questions from your screen. In Gimkit, they can see the questions on their own screen and work at their own pace, but they are competing and challenging other players at the same time. It's a lot of fun to do. Similar to a quizzes game, but with a little bit more interactivity. So if you're looking at these kits are just games, and I used to use them a lot for when we were reviewing for a test. So if we were reviewing for a test, I might put in my kit a bunch of the different questions, and then we would play it live. Now, when you play it live, there are lots of themes. So let's look at this a little bit more closely. Let's start with kits. So kits are going to be the games that you play. You can see on the left there are also assignments, so you can assign them for them to do outside of class for homework. And you can actually load classes in it if you wanted to. I never actually did that because I did it more of as a review, but you can also assign it as homework, and that just lets you get the link that you can send out for students to play on their own. So if I wanted to start a new kit, I would just click New Kit. I give it a name, a language, a subject. So once you put that in, you can select a cover photo. You can use a link to a cover photo if you don't like something in here. Let me just grab something here. Yeah, that definitely has to be the cover photo for this. Now I can add a question. I can create with flashcards. I can continue with Kit Collab. I can add it from a question bank or import from a spreadsheet. So let's just say I want to add a question here. I'm going to ask away. Maybe I'm going to copy and paste a question from somewhere else. I can certainly do that. Copy and paste some quiz questions in here, or design my own. I really am about to put Jojo Siwa. I don't even know how to spell it. Maybe like that. And you get the idea. So you put in your answers here. You will select which one you want to be the correct answer. So if you put the correct answer last, then you would select it here. You can add pictures for any of these. You can add a photo to go along with them. So if you would like your answers to be a photo instead, well, that's a different kind of Madonna. Let's do Unsplash doesn't have a lot of choices, as you can see. So I might just find one and put the link in, but you get the idea. So let's just pretend we're going to use this as a picture. This could be an answer choice. So if you're asking a question about which one of these is a lunar eclipse and which one is a solar eclipse, you could use the answer choices here. You can also add a photo underneath the picture. So you can add a photo to go with the picture. So here's a picture of a singer, so I might want to put that up. I can also add audio. So any of those are choices for things that you can do. Once you have all of your answers here, you click Add, And then you can see the picture that will come up along with the question. You can continue adding questions until you're all done. You can do a text input for your answer rather than a multiple choice. But for scoring purposes, I usually do the multiple choice if we're playing it a live game. When you're all done, you'll click all done. I'm going to go ahead and use one that I already have here as an example. So when you click on these three dots, you can open it, you can edit it, you can get a report, make a copy, add it to folder, or you can archive it. Any of those are choices. Now I'm going to play this live here. When you select it, this was just a short one with 10 questions, but you can have as many questions as you'd like. You select a game mode. This one right here that is a feature game that's brand new is a Jeopardy style game mode. You could select that. There is a classic game mode where they work individually, or a team mode. There's a trust no one. This is like Among Us. My students last year loved that. There's a draw that. This is a drawing game. You do have to do some prep. You have to put in some words for them to draw at the beginning. So that one takes a little bit more effort. The rest of them you just select and run with it, and I'll show you what that looks like. So the floor is lava was another theme, humans versus zombies. This splits the class into humans and zombies, half and half. The infinity mode where they're trying to collect all the stones. There's a boss battle. If you have a really strong student that you want to battle the rest, you can do that. There's a super rich mode, a hidden mode where you don't know who's winning until the very end. So it's a big surprise. And there's a drain mode where the balance is draining and you're trying to work together to earn the right amount or the full amount. So any of these games are available to choose. This is the new Jeopardy one. You can choose the number of categories. You can choose the finale question, or you can make it random. You can give them a certain amount of time to answer. The powers are special abilities. They're really, really fun things that they can do. So they can buy power-ups. As they earn points, they can buy power-ups. And the power-ups let them do different things. So they can increase the number of points they get for each correct answer. They can freeze someone else and things like that. You can turn the music off here, the clapping off here. At the end, they can clap if they liked it. And you can determine whether or not you want students to join late. So that's one of the choices for that. There are others. So if I go back here, say for instance, if we chose the trust no one, that's like an Among Us theme. So this one, they have to work together to figure out who the imposters are. If you're not familiar with the imposters game, you might want to read that just so you know how it works. You can select the number of imposters. I usually do 2 for a regular class size, 3 if it's a larger class. You can determine how many investigations it takes, they are allowed to do. You can say how reliable it is for their investigations to be accurate. You can allow them to show on a clear list or not, and you can allow student called meetings. So one of the things they do is they can earn points, and as they earn points, they can call a meeting to discuss who they think the imposter is, and then to vote out the imposter. You can allow them to check the correct answer after answering incorrectly so they can see their answer for the future. And the music and join late are there as well. So for instance, if you are going to do that, you would go ahead and go to this link right here. So if you just click on it, the game link is copied, and it has the gimkit.com and it has this 652-705 number. You need at least 4 players to join to be able to play this game. And then once the players join, you'll be able to see their names here. If there's any nicknames that you feel are inappropriate, you can just click the X next to them and it will kick them out and they can come back in with an appropriate nickname. You can set whatever rules you want for nicknames. It does have a general nickname screener to make sure that they're not wildly inappropriate, but if you want to use a certain convention, you can. If you want to let them pick their nicknames, you can do that as well. That's up to you. So once they enter the room and you'll see how many are in, you can then start the game. And when you start the game, it will give them the setup, the background that they need to know. When you go in to a lot of these games, you can play for a set amount of time. Like you can play for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes. You can enter that time. Or if this is one where they're trying to find the imposters, you're setting instead the number of times we already set that, the number of times that they can do their voting, how many meetings they can hold before the game's over. So if they run out of meetings and they haven't found all of the imposters, then the imposters win, and vice versa. If they find all the imposters before they run out of meetings and votes, then the crewmates win. So lots of fun. They really like to play it, and that is just one of the choices of games you can play. There's lots of different games in here. They offer seasonal games. They also offer different power-ups seasonally. So there might be one where you can put on a snowstorm. There are some where there's like heat lightning that comes up all of a sudden. Lots of fun things you can do with it. If you have any questions about Gimkit, let me know.